Avery was gazing affectionately at the small hole in the wall. However, in the next moment, a seductive large tongue protruded from the hole. Without hesitation, she began to passionately lick it. My God, what a game this is! But just as her excitement began to peak, it all turned out to be an erotic dream. After her boyfriend left her, Avery developed severe social phobia. She didn't want to go out, even fearing to interact with people. Every time the delivery guy knocked on the door, her heart would pound with fear. Only after making sure that the delivery person had left would she open the door and quickly take the delivery inside. One day, she wanted to hang a painting on the wall. Unexpectedly, when she struck the wall with a hammer, a small hole was surprisingly smashed into it. That night, Avery noticed a strand of hair hanging from the hole in the wall. Even though she found it peculiar, she didn't think too much of it. Then, as she gazed at the hole in the wall, she gradually fell asleep. But soon after, something seemed to be in the hole in the wall. Avery walked over with a deeply affectionate look. As she approached, a thick tongue wriggled out of the hole. She licked it, seemingly enjoying it very much. Indeed, being single for so long, even monsters couldn't escape her. But just as she was enjoying it, she suddenly woke up. It was a dream, but the dream was too real. In order to find out what magic was in that hole, Avery installed a camera at home and monitored the hole with her computer. After that, she fell into a deep sleep. That night, there were sporadic sounds coming from the hole in the wall. Moreover, the hole was getting bigger and bigger, and yellow liquid kept gushing out. But the next moment, Avery was awakened by a sound. She opened her eyes to find herself sleeping below the hole. Could she be sleepwalking? But as soon as she got up, she suddenly stepped on something. Avery took a closer look and was immediately scared. It turned out to be a human tooth. In a panic, she frantically felt around in her mouth, grateful to find all her teeth intact. But just as she was starting to relax, there was a sudden loud noise from the hole in the wall. Terrified, Avery quickly ran back to her room to check the surveillance. The whole ordeal almost scared the life out of her. The video showed her spitting an arm out of her mouth and then stuffing the arm into the hole, all the while emitting a chilling laugh. Avery could no longer bear to watch such strange happenings. She summoned the courage and ran out of the room. She wanted to leave this terrifying house, but looking at the door, she didn't have the guts to step out. After hesitating for a long time, Avery turned her head towards the eerie hole. It seemed to her that the outside world was more frightening than the monster inside the hole. Grating her teeth and stomping her feet, she grabbed a hammer and smashed it into the hole. Avery broke through the wall and walked straight in. Then, she came to a mysterious space. Inside was a throne made of body fat. The hand on the chair beckoned her, and Avery walked over uncontrollably. Although she resisted fiercely, she couldn't help but obediently sit on the chair. Then, the arm put a chic crown on her head. Afterwards, Avery gradually calmed down. She felt incredibly delighted, as if her spirit had achieved some sort of elevation. But just as she was immersing herself in the experience, suddenly, the hand on the chair grabbed her tightly. Avery struggled with all her might and finally broke free. Then, she grabbed a hammer and smashed it. When she opened her eyes again, she found herself outside. She looked in surprise at the hole behind her. At that moment, she finally realized that all of this was her inner demon. She had finally overcome her fear of society.